Hey guys, today I'm going to talk to you about not being afraid to ask and to serve the universe, to get what you want. So I'm going to tell you a story from just recently in my life, like really just recently. So probably last week, well actually a couple weeks before, so I went to this show, this business show, and I was as an exhibitor, I was selling things and exhibiting products. And while I was sitting on a bench eating food on a break, this guy came up to me and see, I've done a few videos for my company, Bridgecom Systems, so he recognized me and he sat down and we started talking about airplanes and small planes and getting into that, and I'm a young man and he's into planes and he just started, talking to me about getting into it, and I think he was kind of an older guy, especially older guys, they probably want to, they like telling you about their life and telling you, sharing their experiences and getting you into the things that they're into. And I was intrigued. Planes have intrigued me, and flying have for a while. Obviously, right now it's probably not in the cards financially. Just something I'm not really willing to invest in because it's not going to bring a positive return right now. But I took it, with I did, I didn't really like take it, and I was going to commit to it right then. But the guy, I went home, kind of put it on the back burner. It was in the back of my mind. But he emailed me later. He followed up. That's another thing. He followed up with me. He's trying to sell me on the idea of starting to fly, and he followed up, and then that got my attention. I'm like, this is great. He pointed out this airport nearby that would teach me how to fly small planes, and then I intrigued. And he also told me he gave me a call to action to go and ask one of my friends if I had any, if they would take me for an introductory flight. So happens to be that I do know somebody that is into flying, and so what do? I just hit them up with a couple texts, and a few texts later, I was scheduled for a flight, for an introductory flight in a small plane in a week. So that was a Friday. I actually went on that flight. My friend, she hooked me up with this pilot, and he took me out. His plane is literally like 5 minutes away from my house. They have a little airport in a field, and he took me out. And he taught me a little bit about airplanes and he let me fly for a little bit. But literally, I mean, most people, they probably 99% of people will never fly in a small plane. Most people probably don't even have that desire, but it's kind of a neat experience. And it happened just because I was willing to just ask. Is literally all I had to do. He didn't even charge me for it, but it's probably just because he's a pilot for a living. But he just liked, and he's so passionate about flying that he was willing to just kind of share with me the experience for free, just because he wants me to get into it and experience it like he did probably a while ago. And literally all I had to do was ask and just be free on a day. And the whole thing lasted probably an hour and a half, and it was amazing. But all I had to do was ask. And the same thing, applies. It's really, I don't think life and making connections and just doing all these things, I think they're kind of overblown in the complexity and what you actually have to do. And I think a lot of it is really just as simple as asking. So I know from experience, like I've hired a few people, and some associates of mine, they make it out to be kind of a big deal hiring somebody and making the post and everything. But I think after doing it a few times, it's really not a big deal. I mean, you just make what you want, put it out there, and people respond. And I think if you wanted to say find maybe business related, like if you want to find a mentor in a field, or maybe a business partner, or accountability partner, any kind of a friends or associates or whatever, I think a lot of it is just really as simple as just asking and putting it out there that you're interested in whatever you want. Like I know for me, one time I wanted to get an accountability partner. So literally all I did was just put out a post to some Facebook groups. Hey, I want an accountability partner. Is anybody interested? And then boom, I was, 5 people replied. And I think there's a lot of people just existing kind of on the sidelines. They want all the same things as you. They have a lot of the same desires, but they're just not willing to put themselves out there. But you have to be willing to disturb the universe in the sense that you splash the waves. You put out a request. Be willing to get a reply. And I think the reason a lot of people do that is they don't do it is because they fear getting shot down or rejected potentially. But I think it's kind of it's overblown. I mean, everybody is trying to serve each other and help each other and make money off of each other and have a good time, and it's all great, good, fine, and great. And I think a lot of what we want in life is just as simple as asking for it. and sometimes there's follow-up work that has to be involved, but usually just the ask is what gets the ball rolling. So I mean, that's just a couple examples from my life of where it's, getting the things I wanted has cost me nothing more than putting myself out there, or asking somebody, with not really with the and asking not necessarily with the expectation of, like, I guess maybe you're paying for it or something like that, but it's more of just like putting yourself out there, like, hey, I want this thing, and a lot of people are more than willing to oblige you, just because they want what you want, or they want the same things, they want to get you into the same stuff, or they just like what you're after. So yeah, if you have any questions about this, please drop a comment below. If you really like this, please drop a like, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm putting out content right now weekly and bi-weekly, and I'm going to be ramping that up to give you guys more knowledge. So if you have any questions, if you'd like any videos to be made, please put them in the comments below. Now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.